February 4th, 2016. A printer in Dhaka, Bangladesh refuses to work. Routine malfunction. Annoying, but not alarming. The staff at Bangladesh Bank make a note to fix it Monday morning and go home for the weekend. They have no idea that printer isn't broken. It's been silently disabled by hackers on the other side of the world. Hackers who are, at this very moment, stealing nearly $1 billion. The largest bank heist ever attempted. A nation-state operation so precise, so audacious, that it exploited the most trusted financial network on Earth and nearly succeeded completely. Except for one typo. Bangladesh Bank, the central bank of an entire nation. And like most central banks, it keeps reserves at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Nearly $1 billion. Sitting in digital accounts, protected by a messaging network called SWIFT. 11,000 institutions use SWIFT. Trillions move through it daily. When a SWIFT message arrives with proper credentials, banks don't ask questions, they execute. The attackers knew this. They didn't need to break SWIFT. They needed to become SWIFT. The operation began months before the heist. Sometime in early 2015, employees at Bangladesh Bank received emails, perhaps job applications with attached resumes, perhaps inquiries about the bank's services. The details remain classified. What we know, someone clicked. Malware installed silently. For nearly a year, the attackers lived inside Bangladesh Bank's network, watching, learning, mapping every system, every process, every security measure. This is what patience looks like in a sophisticated attack. Not days, but months of invisible preparation. They studied how the bank used SWIFT. They learned the format of legitimate transfer requests. They identified which employees had authorization. They figured out the daily routines, the shift changes, the windows of reduced oversight. And they discovered the printer. Every SWIFT transaction automatically printed a confirmation record, a paper trail. If the attackers sent fraudulent transfers, that printer would immediately expose them. So they wrote custom malware, specifically designed to disable it. They also modified the SWIFT software itself, altering the database to hide their transactions from the bank's internal records. When staff checked their systems, everything would look normal. The preparation was extraordinary, patient, meticulous. Then they chose their moment. February 4th, 2016. Thursday evening in Bangladesh. But not just any Thursday. The attackers had studied the calendar with surgical precision. Friday is the weekend in Bangladesh. The bank would be closed. Saturday and Sunday are the weekend in New York. The Federal Reserve would be operating with minimal staff. Monday, February 8th, start of Chinese New Year. Banks across Asia would be celebrating. The attackers had identified a 5-day window where nobody would be watching closely. Timing wasn't incidental to this attack. It was the attack. This is the kind of detail that separates people who understand security from people who become headlines. If you're the type who wants to see how these attacks actually work, not the news version, the real version, subscribe. We don't cover what happened. We cover how and why it worked. At 8:36 p.m. Bangladesh time, the first SWIFT message transmitted from Dhaka to New York. Transfer $20 million to a bank account in Sri Lanka. Then another message, and another. In total, 35 transfer requests, nearly $1 billion. All appearing to come from Bangladesh Bank's legitimate SWIFT terminal with proper credentials and authentication. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York began processing. Money started moving. $20 million to Sri Lanka, $81 million to the Philippines, split across 4 accounts at Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation. The transfers to the Philippines succeeded. The money landed in accounts that had been opened months earlier, sitting dormant, waiting for exactly this moment. Within hours, accomplices in Manila began withdrawing cash and converting it to chips at local casinos. Casinos at the time weren't subject to the same anti-money laundering rules as banks. Cash in, chips out, no questions asked. The money disappeared into a labyrinth designed to be untraceable. $81 million. Gone. And the attackers? Not a criminal gang. Investigators would later trace the malware to a group called Lazarus, a hacking unit operated by North Korea's intelligence services. The same group behind the Sony Pictures hack in 2014. The same group that would later unleash WannaCry ransomware in 2017. A nation-state committing bank robbery. But the attackers wanted more. They'd sent requests totaling $951 million. And then, something went wrong. Among the 35 transfer requests was one addressed to a recipient in the Philippines, a non-profit foundation. The attackers spelled it Foundation. One wrong letter. A routing bank in Germany, Deutsche Bank, was processing the transfer when a compliance officer noticed the misspelling. Typos in transfer requests sometimes indicate fraud. The officer flagged it for review. Then, reportedly, they noticed something else. The word Jupiter appeared in the recipient's address. Jupiter Street, Manila. Jupiter is also the name of an Iranian shipping company under US sanctions. The combination, a typo and a sanctions keyword, triggered an automatic alert. Deutsche Bank halted the transfer and sent a query back to Bangladesh Bank. But it's Friday morning in Dhaka. The bank is closed. The query sits unanswered. Meanwhile, at the Federal Reserve, another analyst grows suspicious. 35 transfer requests from Bangladesh in a single night? The volume is unusual. The analyst starts calling Dhaka to verify. No answer. Weekend. The Fed halts the remaining transfers pending confirmation. Saturday morning in Dhaka. A technician arrives to fix the printer. He restarts the system. The printer whirs to life. And suddenly, it starts printing. Pages and pages of SWIFT confirmations. Transfer after transfer that no one at the bank authorized. Panic spreads through the building. Staff try to contact the Federal Reserve to stop the transfers, but it's Saturday in New York. Then Sunday. Minimal staffing, delayed responses. By the time Bangladesh Bank reaches the right people, $81 million has already vanished into Philippine casinos. The remaining $870 million? Frozen. Saved by a typo, a sanctions keyword, and an analyst's intuition. Every major bank suddenly asked the same question. If Bangladesh Bank could be compromised, with its direct access to the Federal Reserve, who else was already vulnerable? SWIFT issued emergency security updates. Banks worldwide audited their systems. The entire infrastructure of global finance suddenly looked fragile. Here's what made this attack so elegant and so terrifying. The attackers didn't break encryption. They didn't crack passwords through brute force. They didn't exploit secret software flaws that nobody knew about yet. They compromised humans first. One phishing email, one click. Then, patience gave them everything else. They understood that trust is transitive. Bangladesh Bank trusted SWIFT. The Federal Reserve trusted SWIFT messages from Bangladesh Bank. Each link in the chain assumed the previous link was secure. The attackers didn't attack the strongest link. They attacked the weakest, and rode that trust all the way to New York. And that printer? It became a case study in redundant safeguards. That automatic paper trail, a decades-old backup system, was the first thing attackers disabled. Sometimes the oldest security measures are the ones that save you. A billion-dollar heist, planned for months, executed across time zones, exploiting the most trusted financial network in existence. Stopped by a typo. It sounds like luck, and partly it was. But here's the deeper truth. Complex attacks create complex failure modes. The more steps in your plan, the more chances for something to break. The attackers needed perfection across 35 transfers, multiple banks, 5 days of timing. They got 34 right. One misspelled word, one alert analyst. That's the margin between the largest bank theft in history and a cautionary tale. But $81 million did vanish. The attackers are still out there. Lazarus has only grown more sophisticated. North Korean hackers have stolen billions in cryptocurrency in the years since. Right now, someone is drafting a phishing email, mapping a network, choosing their 5-day window. And they only need to get it right once.